In the previous video, we talked about how to write pseudocode and how to get started even if you don't know how to solve the whole problem right away. In this video, I'm going to put a little bit of code in, but I'm going to show how you can continue with this kind of outlining method. Method can also mean function. I meant to say this outlining approach. I want to show how you can use this approach to begin to build out your code even if you don't know all the little details of syntax you might need. So here, under this first welcome the user to the game line, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to print something. Welcome to the game. Okay. And here for all the optional ones, I'm just going to turn these into to-do items because that's up to you. So I just put the word to-do. That's not a special Python word. This is in a comment, so that's really just for the programmer. All right, so now let's figure out this bottom part. I think I'm going to go ahead and not put it in a loop yet. So I'm going to go ahead and convert that into a to-do item by making it a comment. Okay, I'm going to take all this stuff and start working on it. So we need to present the user with a choice. Okay, well that's good. I'm pretty creative. I've got lots of ideas for choices. So let's tell the user, you are in a cave. I don't know why I like caves so much. I just think caves are filled with danger. There is a centaur. That's a mythical beast, right? Like I'm asking a question even though I'm just recording a video and no one can speak to me. Okay, there's a centaur. I changed my mind. There is a tribe of centaurs, of mechatronic centaurs. I don't even know if that's a real thing. In fact, it's not. But I've decided that it is for the game. Okay, there's a tribe of mechatronic centaurs, robotic centaurs. Wow. Okay, so now we need to tell the user more things. And please note the way this print statement works. You may have seen it before, but print works, it prints a function. So it needs to have parentheses and it needs to have inputs inside it here. All right, so the choice I'm going to give the user, I'm going to comment out this line or get rid of it. Let me get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to say type A. Okay, choice A is going to be ignore the centaurs. Okay, it seems like, you know, a possible survival strategy depending on how centaurs think. Okay, choice B, give them some motor oil so that they can, you know, make their joints move nicely. Maybe they're in the cave because it's raining outside and they need to sort of, you know, spruce themselves up a bit, prepare, okay, keep themselves in good working order. Good thing my creativity is just on high level right now. So we've told them all these things and now we need to get their input. So maybe I shouldn't use choice. Letter. I'm just gonna letter choice. Letter choice. That's what I'm using. It's a long variable name. You call that just just C, the variable C. I'm calling it letter choice to be explicit. So this is where we have to get input from the user. So I'm going to use the function called input. Type A or B. And you can do these little tricks like put a colon, or some people like to put this symbol. Definitely put some spaces after whatever symbol you choose so that the user doesn't start typing spaces on their own. Oh goodness, I've written a lot of code without testing it. There's all kinds of mistakes I could have made here. Common mistakes are leaving out these closing quotes, leaving out these closing parentheses. Before I get too much further, let me just go run this code. So I'm gonna have to comment out this situation right here so that everything is ready to rock. Okay, I'm gonna go run this code. So to do that, you can just run it from the run menu if you're using the idle. What did I call this file? I called it adventure. Okay, welcome to the game. You're in a cave. There's a tribe of mechatronic centaurs. What? Who wrote this? Choice A, ignore the centaurs. Choice B, give them some motor oil. Type A or B. Okay, I'm gonna type B. And then the program just ended because so far that's all that happens. But it's just good to get in the habit of running the program. Okay, but actually I want to know whether this actually worked. So let's do this. Choice was, okay, we're gonna run this again. Okay, now I'm choosing A. Okay, choice was A. You might have seen I accidentally clicked space there. Okay, choice is A. So that seems to be working so far. So these were just these two lines, line 17 and 18. These are what's called debugging statements. This is just for the programmer to check things out while going along here. So I'm going to get rid of those because we're done. So what have I done for my checklist here? I'm just looking at line 20 and just the user's input. Already did that. Oh yeah, optional, check the validity. So let's turn this into a to-do item. We're getting good at just keeping focused on the problem at hand and not going down a rabbit hole into other problems. So that's a to-do item that we need to do later. Just going to put it there. Okay, now let's do something. Let's say if letter choice... Oh yeah, and we've been doing this the other way around. So if A is letter choice... I don't know. So this means they chose to ignore them. Print. Cool. Cool. You survive. You survived. Okay, survived. Yeah, surviving is cool. Okay, so, but also there was another choice, B, that they could have done. I'll say, wow, you were very generous. And maybe they have like a generosity score or something like that. You know, maybe this is a game where there's different attributes, maybe different character traits. You get to make that up. How would you do that, hypothetically? Well, actually, wait, before we do that, we need to test this. So you'll see what I did just then. I only wrote 4 lines of code. And I'm going to go ahead and test it anyway, because it seems like kind of a lot happens in those 4 lines. Okay, tribe of mechatronic centaurs. I want to ignore them. I'm ignoring them. Oh, cool, I survived. Okay, let's see if our other thing works. This time I'm going to give them some motor oil. Oh, wow, I'm very generous. Yeah, I am, sometimes, in my better moments. Okay, so why did I put an if and an elif? Well, because otherwise the choice was invalid. Right, so this is probably not what we want it to do. We want to actually check it up here. We want to get input from them again. So now I'm giving you a lot of hints. I want to put this should be inside a while loop. This line 16 should be a while loop, and you should keep going until you make sure that they've typed letter A or letter B. Alright, I'm going to leave that as an exercise for you. You should pause the video and give that a shot right now. Okay, so I'm back. So we've got these to-do items in. Maybe you just finished this one, or maybe you're going to think about it more later. Now I think we really might have 0 more things to do. Oh yeah, so we already told them the result, and get rid of that. And then do we want to keep track of life points? Yeah, so, I don't know. Do you think the centaurs, this game is getting kind of violent. Maybe the centaurs are very hungry. And we're going to say, oh no, the centaurs ate you. Okay, so in this case, maybe life points gets decremented. Decremented is a fancy word for decreased, usually by 1, not necessarily. So I've decided now there's going to be these life points. So we got to initialize that variable up at the top of the program. It would be common to do that kind of thing up here. Life points. Again, I'm making longer variable names than necessary because I want you to be able to understand this when you look at it again. So, I changed my mind. I'm doing it in lowercase. Usually things in uppercase are supposed to be constants, that is, things you'll use over and over again, but they'll stay the same. I'm putting this in lowercase because I plan for this to change. Okay, you'll get used to those conventions. So the centaurs ate you. Well, that's unfortunate, but fortunately, since it's only a game, we can just play again. We just have fewer life points. So life points is gonna be decremented by 1. So this is a way that you can start having. You could have other attributes. You don't just have to have life points. It's not really an attribute. So there are a few to-do items to do here, but I think I guess another to-do item. I'm gonna give you another to-do item, and then this is kind of a optional. These are all optional for you. Write a function for the parts of this program which will need to be reused. So I'm not going to get into that here, but if you have an inclination of and if you're inclined toward writing functions, I know I haven't given a very extensive overview, like this stuff is going to happen over and over again, right? There's going to be a certain number of choices, and then there's going to be a certain thing that should happen. So that's beyond the scope of this video. If you're not yet up to writing functions, don't worry. Please just write a couple more things like this. Write the rest of your game. Just get some practice using if and else statements, and get some practice manipulating some variables that you make up. So that's where we'll leave it off. And don't hesitate if you get stuck. Don't hesitate to convert something back into a comment. So the key takeaways are: write comments before you're writing your real code, and then run your code all the time to see if it works. So what did I leave out? I never checked at the end. I never checked total life points. Let's do it this way. I never checked to make sure that that was working or not. Let's get rid of that extra S. Alright, so that'll be the final thing I do here. I'm going to see this ignore the centaurs. Total life points 4. Check that out. Oh no, the centaurs ate you. So, you know, at least we verified that it got into here. Anyway, just to conclude, the major things we did: we wrote pseudocode, we worked on our program piece by piece, and I want you to continue with that strategy to try something that's challenging for you. So maybe writing a function is challenging, maybe writing a loop is challenging, maybe putting all those pieces together is challenging, maybe even just coming up with a new part of the storyline is challenging. Whatever you feel is challenging, go off, find something that's the right level of challenge for you, put it in pseudocode, and get rolling. Thanks for watching.